All right, boys, what's going on? Welcome back. What a day, amazing day. Super tired. What's up, G Money? Thank you, brother. Tonka, Raji, Gervais, Stevo, Nils. What's going on? We'll go over a couple of things here today. Obviously, my best day in a while. Just was seeing everything really clear today. What's up, Andrew? I had conviction and I kept going in with my conviction. I was gonna stop in the morning after I made a very nice gain before lunchtime. But I figured, hey, I'm seeing stuff clearly. Let me press on the gas today. Maybe I'll just take tomorrow off or something. Which obviously I won't. You know me, I'm a crackhead. But let's just get right into this. ES overnight, we had that big 41.25 number on ES. Someone was defending this 41.25 like their life depended on it. Finally, we cracked it overnight. I know the volume looks small here because it was overnight, but there was a big buyer right here. I was watching on the level 2. Someone was buying everything whenever it went under 41.25. They defended it overnight. It did go below, but we did end up closing candles above, which is what matters. If you guys look here, 4-hour candles. None of them closed under 41.25. One closed at 41.24.75. So that says someone is defending 41.25 with everything they have. Other than that, we opened up this morning. Very, very mixed signals this morning. You guys know I call out all my correlations. I try to teach you guys everything I know. Don't really hold anything back, but correlations come and correlations go. For a while there, Bitcoin and ES were going hand in hand with each other. Whenever Bitcoin went up, ES went up. Whenever Bitcoin went down, ES went down. That correlation came, it passed. Then we had the crude oil NASDAQ correlation. Whenever crude was strong, tech stocks were down, and vice versa, same thing. Then we had the bonds correlation, then we had the yields correlation, and basically now DXY was the strongest correlation lately. So I came into today with my analysis. I was reading last night. I seen VIX left a huge gap, and once they couldn't break down the market, I started watching VIX candle for candle with ES. And basically that correlation was clear as day this morning. The DXY was dumping, but since VIX was going sideways instead of down, ES didn't pop. You guys see this big dump on DXY here from about 10 o'clock all the way down to 11 o'clock. And if you look at ES here from 10 to 11, it did just go sideways, guys. So basically, and after 11 o'clock, we actually broke out. So what I was seeing was even though the DXY was dumping, straight dumping, this should have led to a straight rip on ES. What was happening was they were holding yields. Yields were super strong. Above 3.1% is a disaster for tech stocks. So what they were doing was they're giving the illusion that they were going to dump it. So they gave yields were up, bonds were straight down. And once I seen the dollar was also straight down, we should have been ripping if bonds just had to reverse a little bit, which you saw here. Bonds reversed right at 11 o'clock, and that's exactly when ES went. So for the rest of the day from there, I decided VIX was the strongest correlation of the day. They want to fill that gap on VIX all the way down to 21 bucks, which is still a long way away. That's why I held some calls overnight. Do they do it right away, or do they give us a severely volatile day tomorrow and then fill the gap later on? Preferably, if I'm right about my October analysis that I gave you guys all, where SPX will make new lows in October, AMD will fall in October, Tesla will fall, Apple will fall, basically the whole market will fall in October. If I'm right about that, what I think is they have to fill the gap first, and then they'll just dump it straight into September. So that was my plan going into the day. That's why I was so convicted on all of my plays today. I hit futures maybe 10 times today. I hit SPX calls maybe 4 times. Tesla calls did not work out, but I got out break even because I scaled it properly. UVXY puts off the open worked beautifully. You guys seen this huge dump, over 50% on those puts as well. But basically I was watching ES and VIX. So VIX could not get over the cloud. Let me show you guys this real quick. Yeah, so we had this red cloud here on VIX 15-minute chart. We rejected at 9:30, as you guys see here. ES at 9:30 right here. We got that little pop candle, sideways for a bit, and then we popped up some more. Sideways for a bit, then we popped up some more. It's the same thing. On VIX, we hit the cloud, went down. Popped up to the cloud, went down. Popped up to the cloud, went down. I was watching all 4 of these charts all day. The only reason I didn't go all in, like that's how strong the correlation was for me today, was because bonds were still going down and yields were still holding the cloud to the upside. If yields were falling and lost this cloud here, or lost these moving averages, I would have went even heavier into my long side calls today. What's up, Ricky? And that's basically my plays there. I gave you guys the ES levels this morning. It's very clear 41.42 is where all the shorts wanted to defend. As soon as bears gave this up, this is where we made our money on the first SPX calls here. Huge green candle right through that 41.42. As you see, shorts, stop losses were hit. They kept covering, and some people probably kept adding on. And then 41.57 was my first short. I only did it for like 2-3 points because I was playing against the trend. If I held those ones, you would have seen how many points you could have got on futures there as well. I did not expect them to take it back below 41.42. I wasn't at my screen at the time, thank God. I hit every single trade today. But if I was at my screen and I seen SPX or ES going down to 41.42 right here, I probably would have went long and I probably would have gotten stopped out. But anyways, we tried 41.42 again here, rejected, came back down, tried it again here, rejected. This is where I entered my last SPX calls of the day. I got 41.50s for $1.10. I was so sure that VIX was going to come down that I added to my calls, as I said on voice chat, got my average to 1, and we ended up selling those for around 100 and 150%. So great play there as well. And at the end of the day, the key thing on that little dump at the end of the day there, even with big volume, we held 41.42. So these are my ES levels for tomorrow as well. I've sent them in the group. You can mark them down if you want, and they were super accurate today. Let's see if I can see what happens tomorrow clearly as well. UVXY, also the puts were just too obvious to me. If VIX has to fill a gap all the way down to 21, UVXY is going to come down a lot too. So instead of playing, that's why the first play of the day I took was UVXY. Other than the futures, I don't even count that. That's just quick scalps. The reason I went short on UVXY, instead of taking SPY calls or SPX calls right in the morning, the reason was the yields in the bonds. Again, they were giving mixed signals. If those all lined up, I would have went all in my account long. I'm not recommending this for everyone. I've been trading a long time. If I see all my signals line up, I do go very, very heavy. So in the morning, they weren't giving us the indication because bonds didn't bounce as nice and because yields didn't roll over. So that's the only reason I didn't go like even heavier. But other than that, UVXY puts right off the open were obvious. I thought VIX would fill the gap, and you guys seen over 50% on those. Rut was just in the middle of the range. Nothing, this chart gave me nothing at all today. You guys see 30-minute chart here. We have the 200-day and a big resistance on top. We have the 50-day moving average and a big support on the bottom. Still in no man's land on IWM here. DXY, big dump this morning. No clue why. Maybe it's just a chart cooling off. What's up, Hamza? How you doing? Other than that, Bitcoin strong as well, obviously. Crude was actually very, very strong today, and crude continues to be strong, which is usually not good for tech stocks. But again, I think they kill off the VIX before they dump this any further. So what I'm seeing here is a daily resistance break on crude, and we got follow through today. We got the fibs, 94.86 close was needed. We got 95.36. Next level up for crude is 101. So that's a big move for Oxy, big move for PBR, big move for any oil companies you guys like, XOM, whatever. SC in the morning. This was actually, this was my first play in the morning actually. It was right out of the gate. I seen strength in Baba. I seen strength in SE. Seen strength in China. I actually put these SE calls on my watch list last night. The reason being, they're right at the bottom of the Bollinger Bands, way oversold. I remember some people in the room were taking SE calls last week. As soon as they felt the pain, I felt like they were going to squeeze it a little bit. So today we got a nice little pop right off the open. If you guys look at a 5-minute chart, it was literally straight up for the first half an hour or so on SE. Got those 65 calls at 1.2, I believe. I sold them at 2.2 for $100 a contract. And other than that, after that, I was pretty much done with the trade. And I had a resistance already drawn here at 66.86 from somewhere. It's probably a range from before. Yeah, it looks like it wanted to get back into that range there. Or was it the weekly Bollinger Band? It was one of the two. No, it was the daily. All right, so SC was the first trade of the day. And the reason being, I had both charts open as usual. I had SC open, you had Baba open here. China's been getting some good news today. I could have gone Baba, I could have gone PDD. Could have gone JD, but SE's my favorite, so I went into SE. That one worked beautifully. Start my day with some profits. Whenever I start my day with profits, it usually goes pretty well because I can take on more risk during that day. AMD, I took calls into the close. First reason being NVIDIA earnings. They've already announced all their bad stuff. I'm thinking they announced their good stuff now. Other than that, Kathy Wood sold her Nvidia. Other than that, I'm expecting a market gap up tomorrow. The reason being is the same thing. I think they fill the gap on VIX down to 21 before they actually bring some volatility into the market. Other than that, I'm not too heavy, even if it goes against me. You guys seen what I made today. Tesla split tomorrow, August 25th. I have no idea what they do. Relative weakness during the day. In the morning, it was absolutely the strongest stock in the market. Everything else was going sideways. Tesla was going straight up. At the end of the day, we closed right near low of the day. We got the split tomorrow. And the thing is, I would be aiming towards the downside tomorrow because look at when Amazon split, marked the top right there. On the day of the split, Amazon marked the top. On the day of the split, Google, looks like we had a big red candle on it, negative 2.5% on Google. And Shopify as well, I believe, marked the top. So if I had to guess, I didn't take any position in Tesla, but if I had to guess, why wouldn't it follow the rest of these, right? So Shopify just dumped like 5 days straight into and after the split. So why would it be any different for Tesla? So let's see what Tesla does tomorrow. Other than that, I gave you my analysis. Find out which I've given you all my correlations, almost every single correlation I watch. If you find the one that's working for the day, sometimes you have to be convicted in your plays. It doesn't matter what anyone else does. I know a lot of people took puts today. I did not care about anyone's analysis except my own. Stayed convicted, stayed in my trades, and